think, huh?
I hope so. Is it? You got a cigarette, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said. Huh?
No.
He got our stuff out. He took us back to court on Monday. He took the mail. We didn't know he had court. The judge put the judgment against him, so I filed an order of cause. They said they can't have it signed off until January 6th. We weren't home. He came here with all our stuff out, lost Brittany's cat, and is saying that he's going to have us arrested for trespassing.
Where's the cat?
The neighbors told me the cat was going in and out. I haven't seen the cat. I have no reason to keep their cat. Okay, so they didn't show up to court on the 22nd. Okay, and
I know they've been having issues with their mail.
Oh, that, they do service
I actually have a source.
Okay,
that is an anonymous source that told me that you had requested that the mail be tampered with. But I'm dealing with that at a later date.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, that doesn't, because there was personal service too. The judge wouldn't have granted me possession unless there was personal service,
now,
which I had to pay for.
Okay, go ahead now.
Okay. It was Christmas time. Okay. They gave her 72 hours to leave the premises. Okay. 72 hours past this date right here brings you to the 26th. I gave them more time. I even said, look, because I got a family who needs to get in here, and they're at a hotel right now. Okay, and listen, there's a lot you didn't know, and I wish I would have told you before. Brittany had put an ad out on Craigslist and had property stolen from my house. Detective Midlars was working on it. Okay, and that is still, she's going to have a warrant for her arrest. If it's not already, it's going to be in the process. The detective did research, and they found out that it was her that wrote the ad. But anyway, the judge gave me possession of the property, and he would not have done it if it was just based on the mail coming to the house. Okay, I had to have pay the city for personal service. Okay, which exceeds the mail. And I also had to send a certified and regular mail, and so does the court does it that way too. They have a system and how they handle it. Now, the judge granted me possession, and he granted me with a judgment on her for the amount of money, because she didn't show up for court. Okay, and in addition to that, I found marijuana in here just about an hour ago. Okay, well, I know it, but I took pictures, and the officer was here, right? So, I mean, I wasn't a bad person to get them out on Christmas. I could have, I mean, they should have. Everyone's out of the house, and the reason why they are also Officer's car is because I've had all kinds of complaints from the neighbors.
Gone too?
He's gone.
All right, he left. Okay. All right. Well.
So, I mean, now it's a civil matter, and I will give her stuff back.
Well, you have to. Yeah.
Well, right.
You have to allow her access to her stuff. You can't lock her.
By appointment?
No.
That's what the judge said.
You have to allow her access to her stuff, okay? And thanks for letting the cat go, too.
I didn't. The neighbors told me I never even saw a cat.
Open, right?
No, it wasn't. Listen, if you'd look, they got the window open where the cat can go in and out. Let's go talk to the neighbors. Called me from home and said that there's a cat going inside. They let the cat in and out of the house.
Right, and when I called on Friday, I called them because they said, obviously I got a judgment wrongfully placed against me. You know what I mean? And we were already planning to move anyway, so they told me they couldn't do anything until January 6th. They were like, the marshals can't do anything, we're not open. There's nothing that can be done until January 6th about any of this. So, with that being said, I mean, I have the paperwork all filled out and notarized. I went down there, but they can't do anything until January 6th. So
when was this posted on the door?
The day after we lost in court because I didn't show up. But that's why I filed the order.
That you were in court that I showed up.
He threw it out. We paid him the money.
He didn't throw it out. He made you pay me the money. He docked at the door.
Was anybody talking to you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here listening to this.
You saw the receipts.
Yeah.
I proved that, we didn't owe him. You have to
But that was last month, though.
Fuck up! Ma'am, please calm down. Sir, unless you're questioning or talk to you gotta stop talking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And this is a great.
Okay, so go ahead. So they threw the eviction out.
Yeah, and then he refiled the paperwork, which we didn't get again. You know, the only reason I found out the last time was from talking to you.
Yeah.
And
their mail has been being tampered with, so they're missing court dates. And I have a source that's telling me that
we didn't show up.
I paid the city personal service.
The mail. He refused to do it, and so I'm assuming he got somebody else to do it. It's a vindictive thing he's doing.
Wait a minute, you're making an assumption.
I just wouldn't do this to somebody. I mean, even if we owed him all this money, which we don't, we paid him everything he's owed.
Yeah.
And the judge will tell you that. You know what I mean? Which is why I don't even understand why they could have even placed a judgment for me not showing, because we were just in court last month and able to prove that. We did pay it.
Because I would have gone to court with you again if I would have known.
If I would have known, I would have called you. We had no idea. And then I come home one day to an eviction notice on the door, and that's when I called down there, and they said, we'll give you another court date, because, you know, the reasons you missed were, you know, obviously legitimate reasons.
I'll
You were in court last month. They
say
threw it
my
out.
side story.
Yeah. You should have gotten something in writing then.
I have it in writing. I have paperwork that
you have until the 6th?
No.
Or until another court?
It was
Doesn't
verbal.
have anything, so it was just verbal.
We talked to the sheriff's department. I told her to call the sheriff's department, and what did they tell you?
Well, unfortunately,
nothing until the 6th. They said
and you know what? I'm not sure.
I don't even have to use the marshals.
This other thing, you can't just take our belongings and collateral for money you think that we owe you and don't. I don't even know if I can.
Yeah, well, that's cruel in its own right.
Oh yeah, well why don't you talk? Should I go get the neighbor?
Why would you do that?
I would never do that to you.
Where was it?
The fact that you did that, like.
Or let's talk. Can I get the neighbor, because I wouldn't
We're
have.
not getting anyone else involved right now, sir.
Okay, can I say my side of the story? I would never take her cat.
I don't care if you took them or you let them out. Like that's
I didn't see your cat.
Yeah, of course you didn't, because you were too worried about doing everything else in the house.
No.
In the backyard and try calling them to see.
What kind of? He's white. He's a big white fluffy cat.
Well, maybe he's in there. Go look.
Am I allowed to go in there? Am I
Well,
going to
go ahead. If you think the cat is in there, go look. I would have no reason to take her cat. And I don't know what she's talking about, monkeying with the mail. I had to pay the city to personally serve this, or else I would not have won the judgment. The judge would not have allowed it. They had plenty of time to get their stuff. And what she was telling Officer Sakaro was about the last month when they didn't pay. She never mentioned that this was a new case, because they didn't pay again. And
So you're the one that got the marshals involved?
I didn't have to, but that's a good practice to do.
Right.
I was recommended to do it, but I didn't have to, because once the judge said, I had possession on the 22nd, he granted me possession of the property for non-payment. But at the same time, I had the regular eviction going because the neighbors are complaining. The marijuana, see, she doesn't want to say it, but the officer...
So the marshals told you that they were no longer involved in some...
No, they're still involved. I mean, they posted notice. I had to pay them $105.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. And then they're the ones after that will go through with the eviction process, which would mean that they're the ones that you're not even supposed to be taking their stuff right now. Like the marshals.
Technically, I don't have to use the marshals.
You got them involved.
I have some.
I got them involved, right? But the marshals gave them 72 hours.
With my lieutenant, and you are to have nothing to do with the eviction. That is the marshals. So everything that you remove from the house needs to go back in now. Okay.
Well, wait a minute, though.
And I'm not waiting a minute at all.
Okay, well, let him take the stuff.
You're going in, bringing everything. How much is out of this house?
I put it all in the garage.
Then you put it all back.
Well, you want the stuff because I have possession of this property. I have
The marshals are the ones that come and do the eviction, not you. So
the marshals I don't have to use if I didn't want to.
That's what I was just told by my boss, that once it's in the marshals' hands, it's their matter, not yours.
But I own the property and I took possession of it.
Put it back. Put it back. Put the stuff
Do you
back.
want us to load her van?
No, I want you to load the apartment back up.
Well,
That's what I want you to do.
You're asking me to put I own the property,
It
my
doesn't
property.
matter. They're the tenants of this property. Put the property
I had to
back.
pay to have my property.
Do you want a lieutenant? Do you want to talk to a lieutenant?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to find the cat.
Yeah, why don't you look for the cat? What color is the cat?
He's like white. He's big, fluffy white, and brown and black.
I would never take her cat.
But you can start moving the stuff back, okay? And I'll get a lieutenant over there.
No, what I'll do, I'll get it out in a couple of days. You can't do nothing in one day.
Get what out in a couple days?
Her stuff, because they got a place down the street, a house rented already and everything.
You're doing the wrong thing, officer, until the lieutenant...
So now it's their problem. So that's what, and before she even told you that, I literally said, like, you can't do it. If the marshals are involved, it is them who has right to anything that goes on with them until they're out of here.
But
like,
that has nothing to do with the possession of the
yes,
home.
it does, because it's their stuff. It's their stuff.
What do you mean?
So you can go ahead and look that up. I'm sure you can just go online and look it up and see what the rules and regulations are once you've contacted the marshals. I'm telling you, you can't touch your stuff.
But the judge told me, okay,
Yeah,
that
I'm telling you
he told me that usually people leave, and because it was Christmas time.
So, yeah, where I'm not talking about all that. This is not like some court mandate or something. If the judge just told you something verbally, I'm telling you, like in writing per the law, literally like U.S. government law, like you got the marshals involved, you can't be touching their stuff.
Right. Well, they put a notice saying you have to be out within 7, and that is expired.
Okay.
Trespassing.
Okay.
If they trespass, then
But that's already been done. I don't understand.
Well, you guys can just
against the other law.
Well, no, you guys can just go ahead and look it up. You don't have to listen to me.
But look at what they wrote, though.
I'm sure you both have internet access. Just go ahead and look it up, and then you can just see that I'm right. I don't need to argue.
But what it says, look what it says on the sign, though. What they put on.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you. Just go ahead and look it up, or you can give them a call. I'm sure there's a number on there. You can call them. Please. I don't want to argue it. I don't want to argue because I'm just telling you it's in writing. So it's not some rule that I came up with. You have to take it up with the government. It's not me.
All right, but what I'm saying
is
is what it says on their sign is they have 72 hours, and that expired on the 26th.
Right. So you can
So
contact
today's
them.
the 28th.
Contact them, and they'll tell you that you still are not allowed to touch their property. So that's all I'm telling you. If you don't want to believe me, just ask them. If you don't want to believe them, you can go above their head. I don't know where you're going to go. Ask the president, but I'm telling you that's how it is.
On how long they can just keep their stuff there?
Yeah, you can. That's all should be posted. You didn't get anything in like any paperwork from the marshals.
I got. They gave me what they.
You get paperwork from them. Like,
Yeah, I have a receipt.
When you went down to pay them, did they give you any like?
They gave me a receipt that I paid.
Okay, they didn't give you any paperwork.
No,
they
that's
give out paperwork.
No, well, the receipt had, the information. It said docket number, warrant number. It had all that on there.
Right, you really have to like read and understand exactly what they do once you get them involved.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
What writing that I had was what is on the door.
Okay.
What it says. Within telling them that they have 72 hours.
Okay.
After the.
I'm telling you. I mean, you can just look it up, contact them. They have all the information for you. You can pull it up online. There's a few different ways you can get that information. But
Okay.
like I said before, she even said anything.
May I say
once I found out
something?
that the marshals were involved, I know that they don't want you to touch anyone. I own tons of property. I have a master's in law and government.
All right.
Pretty familiar with this. But you should just.
I want to respect you. Yes, I'm trying to respect you.
Okay.
I want to tell you something that you don't know. Officer Sakara is being investigated by the Internal Revenue, or not the Internal Affairs.
We all
okay. No. I mean on this
we work for the
particular
city of
case.
Buffalo.
No, and I'll tell you why. Is because when she doesn't know that these people had committed a felony and larceny by putting an ad out on Craigslist and saying to come and get my stuff. I had copper pipe by my house, and that I was tired and that not to knock on the door. And Detective Midlars was putting charges and getting a warrant. Okay, and Officer Sakara didn't know this, and she didn't know the complaints I had, but she showed up in uniform on civil court, and because she testified that she recommended her not to call me, they came up with a phony receipt for $300 for a door that I could have bought a whole new door, and the judge docked that receipt because that officer showed up in civil court to testify that she had recommended him not to call me. So the internal affairs was concerned that she came to civil court, in uniform on a civil matter, on duty, and that also she didn't know what Detective Midlars was doing.
She actually
Right, or they're concerned now because the neighbors all are the ones that wanted me to get rid of them. There's beer cans, all they're drinking. They have parties all the time, and if they were good tenants, I wouldn't want to be. I don't want drama.
I've never been here. I've been working in this district for 9 years. I've been on midnights for 8 years.
Right.
I just got on day.
I got
been here,
the 911 log call history, and you wouldn't believe. The stuff that calls that were coming in here, and the neighbors are the ones that complain. And believe me, I don't want to have to. I want to just see that the money's there, and I want to. I'm good at fixing stuff. Anytime somebody, but they subleased, and Jamie wasn't my tenant, and the original tenant, and the neighbors will tell you it was Kaylee, and Kaylee moved to Florida, and she rented to them, and I as soon as this neighbor here told me about it, I called the police, and officers said they decided that it was a civil case, and it was the same day when Kaylee left, and I said, wait a minute, I said, don't I have a right to see their driver's license and stuff, and they didn't consider it a criminal case, so they made them stay. So at that point in time, Officer Craig, I had no choice but to accept them as tenants. So, and then they wouldn't pay, and not only weren't paying me, so every time I started the eviction. As soon as they found out that I started eviction, they stopped paying me. So in between, while the eviction is going on, I filed for non-payment. And then all that story you heard was from last month. Now this month she didn't pay again. So I filed again. And what Officer Sakara was telling you about, I'm taking the mail. Well, when she didn't show up in the court, the judge saw that I had personal service, or else he wouldn't have done it.
So let's sit down.
They already have a place, so they're going to start moving their stuff into their place, but they're not going to be able to get everything today. So you're going to leave the premises. You're going to leave.
Oh, you're going
to leave them access to this garage for them to, and you're not going to give me a hard time.
No.
If you give me a hard time, I'm going to arrest you, okay?
I'm not trying to give you a hard
you're going
time.
to follow my advice and my order, actually. So that's going to be to leave. So you have to leave. What vehicle are you in?
I'm in that vehicle right there.
What's the garage situation as far as locking it?
Well, we were going to work on trying to lock it. Now you're telling me that they still have access to it.
Well, you better hope nothing happens to their stuff. Well, it's in here.
I'm responsible
that's the decision you make. Yes, you're going to be responsible for this stuff.
No, I'm not.
I hope that nothing's broken. If there is anything broken, these two are going to come and let me know if there's anything broken, and I'll be filing charges. Okay? At this point,
you're already on their side, okay, for reasons that are not right.
right side, okay?
But you don't know, is your name Brittany?
You don't even know what your tenant's
No,
name.
because I never rented you. I rented to Kaylee.
Okay, you can leave the premises.
Remember there was a warrant out for her arrest on Christmas Eve? Remember you said there was a warrant?
Why don't you stop and just do what you gotta do? You can leave the premises. Is this
So
your
you're
trailer?
telling me, I'm going to take my trailer.
Okay, well, hook it up. Let's go.
But let me ask you, you're telling me that I can't be on my own property after I won by court, I won possession.
Absolutely, I'm telling you.
Where's the dining room?
Leave the premises. You're not going to sit here and bully them and
I'm not
intimidate
bullying them.
They're feeling intimidated.
No.
And I'm going to make sure that they're not intimidated because that's my job,
I'm
okay?
not an intimidator.
So that's what you're going to do. You're going to...
Officer Sakura, where's the rest of our stuff?
We have a computer. Computer does.
Listen, the door, when I got here, somebody...
No.
You're not going to play that game. You're not going to play that game. Where's our stuff?
Whatever is in the house and in here is your stuff.
Where's our dining room table? Where are our computers?
Somebody was already moving stuff out. You guys had... Okay, now you're making...
No.
Are you delusional? Where's our stuff?
Now,
Are you stealing
Now I'm a
Get over
thief.
here because it's not gonna be an all day here. So let's get this
Okay.
How long were you here moving?
We were here for a couple hours.
Okay. How'd you get in? Where's our chairs?
The door was open. The door was, everything was open.
No, it wasn't.
Piece of work.
No, it wasn't, because I locked the door this morning.
I would never.
You actually rented this apartment
I took
to somebody
pictures, everything
Seriously?
before I did
And
it.
is your tenant still in the basement?
There is no tenant
Of
in
course
the
there is.
bed.
I had a nice long chat with them in his apartment.
He is not supposed to be living
Oh,
there.
well, we're going to have a little chat up the road on this one. With our inspectors and whoever else in the city needs to be notified.
Okay. You don't know what I went through with the neighbors, and I don't want drama. I never asked for this.
All right, listen, you guys.
And when Officer Sakaro, what she was telling you about over here was about the other time when she didn't pay, not about
Following me, okay, and talking like that, or I'll put you in the hospital.
Said she was going to put me in the hospital. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he don't want my smokes. Yeah. We're gonna be in the hospital.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here then. All right, this is wrong.
Back up to the trailer, I'll hook you up.
So what should I
What
do,
did you do with her
officer?
stuff? I won't file charges against you if you tell me where my stuff is.
What should I do?
At this point, since literally they're missing things, she's going to make a list of what she's missing. She's going to go to the 669 Hurdle D District, make a police report of all the missing items, list you as a suspect, and then the detectives will arrest you.
Okay.
That's usually how it works. So,
Pictures of the house. I told her to show them.
yeah, sure. The detectives will just do it from here. I mean, now we're talking about stuff that's missing. That's really ridiculous, and it is criminal. So,
But I didn't take anything.
I don't know about that, but that's just how it is.
Stuff missing from our house, and you were the only one that was in it.
No, I
Where
wasn't.
else would have it gone?
I'm right here. Where did I take? I'm right here. I didn't leave.
The door would be wide open. I left. Okay,
Greg, was the door open?
You guys come together.
Yeah, this door was open. We went in this door and that door up there was
Both doors were
open.
locked. So what's going on? Well, how is the door wide open? How is the door wide open? How is the door wide open?
This
Make a list of everything you missed.
this door was wide open.
And we're gonna list them as a suspect, okay?
Okay, and what if they miss me left in?
I'll open this up, for you. Officer Sakara, you threatened me that I'm going to be why would you say that to me? I'm a good person. Why would you say that to me, that you're going to put me in the hospital?
You're acting bizarre.
No, I'm not.
You follow me around jabbering in my ear. It's
I'm
bizarre.
trying to explain to you my side of the story is all.
I don't want to hear your side of the story at this point.
Well, you never wanted to hear my side of the story. That was the problem.
Cleaning stuff, we were hoping to get the place cleaned up.
Okay, well, it's not going to be today.
I have another family waiting to get in here. It took me a long time to do this.
Whatever you do with their stuff, unfortunately, that is a criminal action to take any...
I wouldn't take anyone's
Listen,
stuff.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying they're going to make a list. They're going to make a report. They're going to list you as a suspect. Whatever the detectives decide to do after that, it's just the law.
I would never break the law.
You don't even know where it's at now. Thank you. You took our key to the new house.
I didn't take anyone's
Yeah,
key.
well, wherever the dining room table is where I left it. So wherever the dining room table is...
Listen, you had somebody in here.
Somebody take a dining room.
I don't know why I would take. I wouldn't want their dining room table, ma'am.
Our computers are both taken. Our table,
Ma'am,
keys to the apartment are gone.
look in the hallway. They had stuff half moved out already. Will you? I took pictures. It's all in
I don't
boxes.
want to talk to you anymore. You're upsetting me. You're making me annoyed. You're irritating me. I do not like criminals. I don't like people who steal things for no reason.
I wouldn't steal.
I don't really care. I don't really care. But it's missing and it didn't have feet. You guys can go ahead and pack up this stuff because you need to get off the property. I hope you have a way to lock up this garage or whatever's missing out of there overnight. You're going to be responsible for as well. Just so you know.
Is there anything in the basement?
I'm responsible for locking their garage.
Yeah, you put your stuff in the garage. That stuff was you put that in there.
I'm
right?
not. I don't have a
Did you put
contract.
that stuff in there?
Yes.
There you go. You're responsible for it now.
That's right.
Well, then I'll put it back.
Go ahead.
No, you're not touching it now.
Well, you won't. Now you're not like making me do anything.
You know you took the table and
No, where did I put it? What did I want with it?
took them away. That's what you did.
I took them away?
Oh, God, you're no dummy.
Come on.
And I know what you did. You took it all.
You get a light.
Go check it.
Don't argue with them.
Let me get this report file so I can have them out.
Don't argue with them.
Don't